Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. We're coming to you live from Chula Vista High School in South County, San Diego. We've got a Division I matchup here in the San Diego section. It is the host Chula Vista Spartans taking on the Marauders of Mira Mesa High School. We are set to kick off here, and it's going to be the Spartans kicking from left to right to the Marauders, who come in with a 1-2 record. The Spartans are 3-0 undefeated, and we are ready to go. It is Carlos Aparicio kicking off for the Spartans, taken at the 10 by Mira Mesa. Going up the middle with a hole past the 30 is Mira Mesa, and that's where they get started. It was Deshaun Patisil on the return for the Marauders. Now let's talk about Mira Mesa. They come in, like I said, 1-2 off a very humbling defeat last week against Oceanside, losing 48-0. In 2011, last season, they exited the first round of the Division I playoffs, losing to Grossmont. So they come in looking to do something this year, changing things around after going 5-1 last year. They'll start in a shotgun formation, flanked by two backs is the quarterback. Lomax handing it up the middle for an easy first down left side to the big back, Jordan Risdom. We'll see him getting a little bit of work tonight. If you're just joining us, you're listening to PlayOnSports.com, your destination for high school sports. A San Diego matchup between two Division I schools. Mira Mesa with the ball, driving after one play at their own 44. They'll show you that spread offense led by Trey Lomax, a senior quarterback. He will go with a play action, now getting it out to the left side, close to midfield. Xavier Smith, the 6'1 receiver, on a quick hitch for a couple. They'll spot that one at the 47 for a first down gain of 3. Andy Bishop coming to you live from Chula Vista on PlayOnSports.com. One of many games across the country, of course, here on Friday night, and several that we're broadcasting to you live from the state of California. This one in the San Diego section. Lomax coming out with 4 wide receivers, 2 bunched to either side. Brandon Trieu in motion, and Lomax is going to roll right, even though he's the lefty southpaw, and he's taken down for a loss. David Zavala, one of the leaders for this Spartan defense, absolutely smashed Lomax there in the backfield. That one will go for a loss of 2. Just under a minute gone in this first quarter, 10:50 from Chula Vista. A big 3rd down and 9 for the Marauders, who are at their own 45, needing to get to the Spartan 46. Lomax with an empty backfield, and he has early movement along the right side. Addison Morrow with the false start, and this will move him back 5. It looked like Lomax was trying to get the Spartan defense to jump there, but it was Morrow who forgot about the snap count. Now 3rd and 14, and the Marauders are all the way back now on their own 40. Once again, it will be Lomax all by his lonesome there in the backfield with 5 wide receivers. And again, we have another flag, and I would imagine that this one's going to go for a delay of game. They came off a penalty and still took too long on their 3rd down attempt. Another 5 yards back to the 35. A 3rd down and 19 now facing this Mira Mesa offense, and that's not the way they wanted to get started, as they had a couple good plays early but have been beating themselves up. No safety help, one thing to note, as Lomax throws it deep across the center, and he had a man. It was Deuce Bingham who had a step, but the throw by Lomax was just a yard too long. You saw the defense of the Spartans coming up there. No safeties. You had 5 defensive backs matched up one-on-one, and the Marauders could not complete the play. Xavier Smith standing back for the Marauders to punt, standing at his own 20. A low snap, bounces, mishandles it, but he gets it off. That's a low liner that's going to be that's going to roll and then not be taken. It will roll all the way down to the 21-yard line of the Spartans, but they get the stop on defense to start things here. Once again, my name's Andy Bishop. I'll be your play-by-play broadcaster / color commentator, as I will be flying it solo tonight, at least for the time being. Heather Resnick producing the game, and Aaron Hunt doing the fine video work here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. The Spartans getting ready to come out on offense. 9:47 in the first quarter remaining, as they will come out with a full house formation, as it's called, 2 fullbacks, and then Javante Reed, dotting that house at the top, and they'll go with the stretch run to the right only for a couple. Javante Reed is a kid whose name you need to know if you don't yet. He is a senior back, a big back for the Spartans offense, averaging almost 9 yards a carry this season, 518 yards through 3 games, and 7 touchdowns. In the first game against Granite Hills, he had a masterful game of 230-plus yards and 3 touchdowns, and only a little over one-half's workload. So they will go with him again to the left side. Ricky Estevez is the quarterback, and he gives it to Reed again on the left side. You're going to see a heavy dose of him tonight, I would imagine, against this Mira Mesa defense, who boasts a handful of very athletic linebackers. That's one thing that their coach Blevins always talks about. Coach Gary Blevins for Mira Mesa in his 18th season. He has always been known as having a fast, active group there at the linebacking core, and he says it's no different this year. 3rd down and 5. Once again, they will go with Reed on a pitch to the right. He has got the first down, makes a juke move inside for a couple more. And you can see here early how they love to get things started with Javante Reed, as they go with 3 straight runs to him, even going with him on a long 3rd down and 5. So they really use that run to set up the pass. Estevez will throw it maybe 10 to 15 times a game. And this time they'll go with just a single back, and Reed gives it up. The ball is bouncing on the ground. It looks to be recovered by the Marauder defense. Oh, no. It was the Spartans who fell on it. That ball was live and active for quite a while, bouncing off players and the ground before eventually someone from the Spartan offensive line got a hold of it. And a lucky break for the Spartans, as that would have been a costly turnover in their own zone. But it'll actually go for a gain of a couple to the 37, we'll call it. This time they'll go with the I formation, 2 wide receivers to the left. Estevez takes it and will give it again to Reed, left side, again trucking forward with a couple of Marauders around his waist. He'll get close to the first down. And another healthy gain for the Spartan offense, as we're nearing 7 minutes in the first quarter. Beautiful evening around San Diego, a beautiful day around the county. And we're experiencing a nice night here in the south part of San Diego in Chula Vista, just a little bit inland from the coast. Chula Vista, again, coming in undefeated, looking to add another victory to their yearly total. They'll again go with with an I formation. Reed now splitting out to the right, and they'll give it to the fullback up the middle, the big kid. That's going to be Wolfgram, who they love to give it to every once in a while to compliment Reed. He is a big back out there as the fullback. You draw so much attention to Reed, especially when he splits out at receiver, that you almost forget about Wolfgram. And that went for a first down on that third down play. They are now inside of Marauder territory at the Mira Mesa 49, sending a man in motion. Play action by Estevez. He steps up, hit as he throws it, and that will fall incomplete. Even with the play action, Estevez did not have enough time as he was trying to get it out to a receiver to his left. Funny thing that you don't normally find here in any sort of football matchup is a one-on-one matchup between left-handed quarterbacks. Both Estevez and Lomax are going to be those lefty southpaws, and you see very few of them around any at football at any level, and especially here at the high school level in San Diego. All right, so here you have it, just over 6 minutes. Second down. Once again, Reed will go in motion near side, leaving Wolfgram as the only back. A fake, and it is caught at the 35 by Ernesto James. He is down to the 10. And that is a huge play for the Spartan offense. They faked it to Wolfgram on the dive and got it to James down the middle. Now it was a correction on the pronunciation. That's Jaimes on the reception. He's limping off the field under a significant amount of pain, it appears. But he comes away with a big catch, setting up the Spartan offense inside of the 10. They'll go with another full house formation, two backs in front of Reed, who will take it, juking inside, still a couple yards away from the goal line. And that'll bring up a second down inside the 5. But again, a huge 41-yard play from Estevez to Jaimes. Spartans taking a little bit of time to get things set up here, but once again, they get set now with 4:48 in the quarter. Reed will flank out to the left side in motion. Now you've got split backs. They'll hand it to Wolfgram, charging up the middle, getting very close to the goal line, but he's still going to be a yard away, and that'll bring up a third down. Spartans slowly but surely chomping away towards that end zone line. And we'll see what they go with on a third down here. Excuse me. I would imagine they would go again with the run. They seem to be very confident in that tonight. You have Wolfgram and you have Samisi Iongi leading Reed, who will get it into the end zone practically untouched. Touchdown Spartans as they take the early lead here with 4:01 in the first quarter. Javante Reed with his 8th touchdown of the season for Chula Vista. And now Aparicio will come down onto the field for the kick, the extra point. Kevin Ayers, the backup quarterback, to hold. And Aparicio to make it 7-0 does so. And you have an early one-score lead for the Spartans. We want to remind you, fans, that if you want to watch more of your high school's great matchups, like the game you are enjoying here tonight, tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. You're listening to your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com. I'm Andy Bishop, coming to you from Chula Vista, California. A beautiful night here in San Diego. You've got a 7-0 ball game right now. The home team Spartans, who are playing some pretty good ball this season, get things going in the right direction with an early drive. That was a 79-yard drive led by the quarterback Estevez on the wheels of Javante Reed, set up big by a 41-yard pass play as well. This kick will fly into the end zone. Nice boot by Aparicio. And the Marauders will come back once again for their second drive. Things started out pretty nicely for them on their first drive, getting a first down, but then they had a couple mistakes in terms of penalties, and that pushed them back a little bit and came pretty close to striking on a third down, but just a yard too long on a pass from their quarterback, Trey Lomax. So here come the Marauders in their typical spread formation, 2 wide receivers to either side. Lomax will give a draw inside. Breaking free is Christian Batista, who breaks a tackle past the 40, and you see the explosion there by Batista. A tiny back at just 5'8", but you see the speed that he boasts as he went with a simple draw up the middle, took it right side, breaking a tackle and stretching that run out even more. A big play of 24 yards by Batista there. A junior running back who will be by Lomax's side a majority of the game. We are here early in the first half of a Division I matchup here in San Diego. 3:48 on the clock. A snap to Lomax, who will fake and then get it out to his receiver on the right side near midfield for a gain of about 4. A quick strike after the play action. It was Deuce Bingham on the reception. You're going to see a lot of players here for the Marauders get into the action with the good amount of passing that they do out of the spread formation, as well as a couple of the backs that they have. Addison Morrow, the farthest receiver here to the left. They will run it back up inside again to Batista, who inches close to the first down. That draw play working for them. That play working for them nicely so far. They're going to be a yard short. Maybe it's going to be a long yard. It looks like about 1.5 yards that the Marauders need to get as they now march inside of Spartan territory. This time you've got the 2 backs, the double pistol, if you will. Once again going inside, met behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. In on the tackle first was Javante Reed, who likes to come up as a linebacker, and you saw him split the gap there, hitting the back behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1. A huge stop by this Spartan defense in front of their home crowd that has filled a majority, if not all, of the stands here at the high school. Mira Mesa set to punt with 2 minutes remaining in the first. A better snap this time. And the punt is away. A nice one, a fair catch at the 14. Caught by Thomas Otero, the returner for the Spartans team. 1:52 left in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, we have a 7-0 lead. It was the Spartans who scored on their most recent drive, mounting a 79-yard drive. Javante Reed with a few big runs, and then it was Ernesto Jaimes, who is sort of the third receiver here for this Spartans team, and he came up big down the middle on the seam route as everybody was focusing in on the back. But now a little bit harder drive. It'll be a longer one if the Spartans culminate in one. It's the 13-yard line that the ball will be spotted. Estevez handing it on a counter to Reed, who comes back to the right side, and he's got all day. He's to midfield. It's a foot race. Can he do it? To the 30, he's hit, and then he actually fumbles, and it'll be Marauder ball around the 25. A huge play by the Marauder defense when it looked like Reed was in the clear for a touchdown. From one extreme to another. An unfortunate break for Javonte Reed, who actually puts the ball on the ground for the second time tonight. The first one that it would be turned over to the opposing team, as that was set up for a long play. That is huge. That was a 62-yard run, but unfortunately for the Spartans, it resulted in a turnover. Now on first down, Lomax will fake it and go with the quarterback keeper up the middle for a solid gain of 8. And you can sort of see the momentum shifting at this point, as things were looking all solid for the Spartans, but this time it's the Marauders defense that comes up big, and then a first down gain of 8 for the Marauders. 108 and counting in the first quarter. In an action-packed quarter so far it has been. Spread formation as usual for Lomax. He will give it to Bautista this time, who's got it to the outside. Churning those little legs of his with the first down, but you've got a late whistle, a late penalty flag. And we'll see what the call here is. .51 seconds left in the quarter as the clock is stopped. Coming into this matchup, the Marauders, as I have forgotten to mention so far, they have won 3 of these matchups in a row, but Chula Vista looking to change things around there. They're boasting a little bit different football team this year than they have in past years. They did make it all the way to the quarterfinals in last year's playoffs after a nice win against Escondido in the first round, but they're hoping to make a little bit more damage at the Division I level this year. We do have the penalty calls on that play. It was personal fouls on both teams after the play was over, so they will not redo the down. They will give Mira Mesa the first down, and then the penalties essentially offset after the play. So really nothing resulting from that. A first down for Mira Mesa at the 42-yard line. Trips wide receivers to the left, and they'll go with Bautista again up the middle. That one going for not a whole lot, as that stout defensive line for the Spartans comes through on that play. Interesting offense that you see the Mira Mesa Marauders running, a spread offense as I've mentioned before, and then Lomax at the quarterback position kind of has that option read with Bautista normally standing by his side. This time it's Jordan Risdom, but he'll try to read that front 7 defense, sometimes even more in the box for the Spartans, and make the read from there. This time he will give it to Risdom, who's past the first down marker on the far side and into Spartan territory. A nice run by the bigger back, Risdom, a senior at 5'10", 195. Bautista's the quick lightning back at 5'8", 155. So you'll see a mixture of them through tonight's game. That'll do it for the first quarter here at Chula Vista. The Spartans still cling to a 7-0 lead on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Andy Bishop here from Chula Vista High School in San Diego, California, joined by Heather Resnick as our producer, Aaron Hunt on the video. 7-0 is the score. The Spartans with the advantage. They're the home team, but you've got the visiting Marauders mounting a drive, and they'll go with Risdom on first down right side out of the shotgun once again, and he gets a hefty gain inside the 35 to the 34. And the Marauders are looking pretty healthy here. They started this drive on the 25 after Javante Reed, the talented running back for the Spartans, coughed up the ball after a long 62-yard gain. So could really feel the air sucked out of this stadium on that play. The Marauders need to get to the 30 for the first down, but they're going to go for a longer play than that as Lomax threw it out to Morrow, but he was a little long on that completion attempt. Morrow was matched up one-on-one alongside one of the corners over there. I think it was Wolfgram. Maek Wolfgram that was. Or Maaki, I should say. And that brings up a third down now for the Marauders. Third down and 3. Bautista back into the backfield alongside Lomax, who is going to fake it and then keep the ball as he trudges forward. He's going to be close to a first down. I think he's got it, as he was just patient enough to pick it up. And indeed, the referees will give him the first down. We're coming to you from Joseph Rendon Stadium in Chula Vista. Like I said before, the Marauders victors of 3 straight games in this matchup between Division I schools in the San Diego County. Both playoff teams from last year in 2011 looking again to do so this year, as they'll go with a quick strike on a screen. That was to Brandon True, a nice open field tackle by the back there. Once again, Wolfgram on that far side at the corner. And you have a loss on first down. 10:30 in the second quarter. A pretty fast-moving first half here from Chula Vista, as both teams completing passes and running the ball. So the clock has been running for most of the half. It'll be a second down and 13, but we're going to get a stoppage in play, a timeout by the offense by the Marauders. 7-0 here with 10:13 left on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. We want to remind you that Play On Sports is on Facebook, it's on Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. We encourage you to use a couple of hashtags on Twitter, either hashtag PlayOn or hashtag Friday Night Football. You gotta love it all around the country. One of the favorite days, favorite evenings for all Americans, really special across the country. And it's no different here in Chula Vista. We've got a full crowd, and even the Mira Mesa Marauders, who have traveled about 25 miles down the I-15 freeway, have a pretty solid crowd there on the other end. Nice traveling crowd. We're ready for action again. 10-13 again in the second quarter. A man in motion. They'll still go inside to Bautista, who is untouched. He will take it all the way. Touchdown, Marauders. They are just within an extra point of tying this ball game up. And it's kind of hard to believe that Bautista, who's gotten a bulk of carries so far, would go unnoticed on that play, but he did indeed. Virtually untouched through the middle of that Spartan defense. Mira Mesa now to try the extra point. It's Renteria. A little bit of a mishandle of the snap, but he still gets it underway, and this game's tied at 7. A huge turn of events at Chula Vista High School. This ball game is tied up. It was Christian Bautista there on a big 33-yard run through the middle of that Spartan defense. That play took a matter of 7 seconds. You got to imagine during that timeout, the Marauders really went over that play because they executed it to perfection. They've gone with Bautista so much tonight, and he just found that hole through the middle. Mira Mesa set to kick it. They are now moving from left to right after the change of directions after the end of the first quarter. Renteria set to kick it. And you've got a couple of Spartans back there getting ready to return. Ray Holden, the star wide receiver, on the far right hash for the Spartans. And it will not be Holden that gets it. That one will fly all the way into the end zone. Brandon Gill was also back there, one of the other returners for the Spartans. So if you're the Spartans, you have got to come out and establish things once again. A little bit quieter crowd on the sideline than you had before after a series of big offensive plays. As things just kind of went downhill from the moment Javante Reed put that ball on the ground. A very impressive 75-yard drive previously by the Marauders. It is now the Spartans coming back on the attack, an I formation, strong side right. But they will go to the left with Reed, who almost breaks a tackle. I think you've got a penalty flag on the play. You also had a Marauder helmet rolling around the field that looked like a penalty flag as well. The Marauders, of course, in those historic yellow helmets. Tonight they're wearing the blue pants and the white shirts. Chula Vista in the all blue jerseys. A royal blue, you would probably call it. Waiting for the call from the official. You've got a hold on the offensive line from the Spartans, so that will push things back 10 yards from the spot. With just under 10 yards from, or excuse me, just under 10 minutes in the ball game. That'll move the ball back to the 10. They will come out in the same formation, do the Spartans. Estevez with a handoff again to Reed, who's juking in and out, but eventually stuffed and now gang tackled around the 18. So you're probably going to get a gain of 7 on the run. We'll see where they give him his forward progress. No, it was indeed a gain of 5 getting out to the 15. Andy Bishop coming to you live from Chula Vista High School on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Just one of many being broadcast live around the country tonight. Most of the East Coast games now over, but we still got plenty here on the West Coast, particularly in California. Estevez with a play-action pass and tried to get it out to Wolfgram, but the pass was actually tipped. And it still went too high for Wolfgram. Trying to get it out in the flat to the fullback. We'll see what kind of passing action Estevez has right here, as I would imagine they would put the ball through the air facing a 3rd down and 15, but you never know. They try to get the defenses thinking a little bit too much, and they might go with an inside draw or something like that. But this time it's not going to be Javante Reed in the back field. It's going to be his younger brother, Javon. And he will get it on a delayed draw. He will get just a couple, and that's going to bring up another 4th down. That's a stop for the Marauder defense. That one goes for just a gain of 3 for the younger Reed, with 8:37 and counting now in the first half. Addison Morrow back at his own 43 to return. Hui Wolfgram standing at his own 5 to get this away. A low snap, and it is blocked, and it is recovered by the Spartans, though. He will try to go up the field. Almost found a seam, but that's going to be Marauder ball near the 10, and it looked like it was Adrian De La Vega who was first on that blocked punt. Another huge play by the Marauder defense, this one in particular, the special teams, setting up their offense with a very short field. And once again, the Marauder defense will have to try to come up with a stop. PlayOn Sports is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here. First down, Lomax is going to get it. He will fake it to Bautista, get down inside the 10, where he's met by a couple of Spartan defenders. They'll mark it at the 7. 2nd down and 5, gain of 5 for Lomax, who has really had nice control of this offense so far, liking what he sees from the defense and not trying to do too much. Once again, he'll go with the 4 wide receivers. From the 7, he will fake it and then throw it to the corner for a jump ball. It is incomplete. I believe the receiver on the far side came down with it, but out of bounds. It was Morrow, the senior receiver, who went up high. Addison Morrow, a nice effort there, but a little bit too far to the outside. A huge play here on defense, 7:28 left in the second quarter. Lomax getting the play in from the sideline, taking his time. Here we go, 3rd down and 5, and you're going to have a timeout. Once again, Mira Mesa takes a timeout. That's their 2nd of the half. And last time they took a timeout, things turned out well for them as they came back with a 33-yard run from Batista. Once again, they're now on a 3rd down and 5. If you're just joining us, you've missed out on a good amount of action. Here midway roughly through the second quarter, we've had a score by each team. Early on in the first quarter, it was Javante Reed with a 1-yard run set up by a 41-yard pass play from the quarterback Estevez to Ernesto Jaimes. Ricky Estevez, the quarterback, that is. And then the Spartans were well on their way to maybe scoring some more points on a 62-yard run from Reed, but he put the ball on the ground, and it was recovered by the Marauder defense at their own 25. They subsequently went down on a 75-yard drive, highlighted by a 33-yard run from junior running back Christian Bautista. Once again, the Marauders get the ball after a special teams block on the punt. So they now have the ball inside the 10. It's at the 7, 3rd down and 5. Lomax flanked by Bautista. He will fake it to him, throw it across the middle. It is tipped. They will call it incomplete. as Lomax indeed had his arm going in forward motion, but it was tipped really right at the point of release. So a nice play stepping up by the Spartan defense. It was their linebacker, Samisi Iongi, on the deflection. The Marauders now come out for the field goal attempt, a 24-yarder. Miguel Renteria on for the attempt from the left hash. The kick is up, and that will be good. Miguel Renteria gives his Marauders a lead at 10-7 with 7:17 left in the first half of play from Chula Vista High School on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
We're back here at Chula Vista High School on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. My name is Andy Bishop. I'm the only broadcaster tonight. Normally we've got a color commentator, but we're a little short-handed, but we have no problem going forward with it. It will be Renteria, who just booted a field goal, kicking it off on a low-line drive. It is taken inside the end zone by Ray Holden, but of course you cannot advance it if it is touched inside the end zone or if the ball lands in the end zone, so it will be brought out to the 20. 10 unanswered points by the Marauders coming down from Mira Mesa tonight. They come in with a 1-2 record. They won their first game. Pretty nice effort as they beat Valhalla, a good team, 31-28. They then had to take on El Camino at home. They lost that game 34-16 and then had to travel to Oceanside last week and got pounded 48-zip. First down, a quick handoff inside to Wolfgram. That'll net the Spartans a couple of yards as they have failed to get much going after that long run and fumble by Reed. The crowd trying to get things going here for the offense. You see a little bit of the wave going on from the Spartan fans. A couple hundred fans here in the house. 6:50 left in the second quarter as the game slowed down a little bit after the first 16 minutes or so. Really sped by. Whistles on the field from the head official. He's calling his own time. We'll see what the quick holdup is. Potentially an equipment issue going on with a Marauder defender as one teammate is working on another. You have the big lineman, Brandon Rodriguez, at 3:15, helping out one of his buddies get some of that grass out of his helmet, perhaps. Second down and 9. Lomax with the play action, and he is taken down. Ryan Sagapolu with the sack. The senior linebacker came in off the right edge and was the first to meet to meet Ricky Estevez. Got the quarterback switched up there, and Estevez went down hard. A little bit easy to get these quarterbacks mixed up sometimes with their names. Both look pretty similar and throw from the left hand. That'll bring the Spartans back a good amount. A third down and 18. They've got to get all the way to the 30 for a first down. They'll just go with a Handoff to Reed. Javante, that is, coming around the left side, trying to get to the outside, but he'll get hit near the out-of-bounds marker for just a gain of 2. Clock will still run. And another third down stop for this Mira Mesa defense, who is looking seemingly better and better each drive that the Spartans try to amount. A huge loss of 10 on that second down. The sack once again by Sagapolu, one of the athletic linebackers for the Marauders. An end-over-end kick by Wolfgram. It'll bounce at the 50, now inside Marauder territory, and it will be downed by Samisi Ayongi at the 47 of the Marauders. Do you want to watch more of your game's great matchups like the game you are enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP. Very close, exciting game tonight between two evenly matched teams, both of them ranked near each other coming into the game. 4:49 left in the first half. In motion, Brandon Trieu, as Lomax will take it on his own once again to the right side. Churn in those legs to the 40. And a big gain of 13 to get things going. An easy first down. You see Mira Mesa likes to spread things out and get things in motion, trying to catch the defensives off guard with the misdirection. Tyler Reed, the senior, comes in with the play from the sideline. He replaces True, who went in motion on that last play. They'll line up with trips to the left this time. You've got Dante Nolan, the big 6'4" wide receiver, over on that side. Bautista in the backfield. Tyler Reed in motion, and he'll lead block for Bautista, who has met near the line of scrimmage. Sebastian Medina on the tackle, the junior linebacker, limits that play to a gain of 2. You've got 4 minutes now in the second quarter. Clock continuing to roll now. 10-7 lead for the Marauders inside of Spartan territory at the 38. Once again, coming out with trips to the left, you've got Morrow, you've got Reed, and you've got Nolan on that side. And now Reed comes to the right to give them deuces to either side. And Mira Mesa, it appears, will take their final timeout of the half as the whistles blow. Yep, finally got the call from the official as they were all waving their hands for a while, and then finally got the direction towards the Mira Mesa side. 3:18 left in the first half. Andy Bishop joining you from Chula Vista High School. Heather Resnick, our producer. Aaron Hunt, our videographer. You've got a couple of good matchups around San Diego this evening. One of them here for sure on playonsports.com. That's going to be the St. Augustine Saints taking on the Otay Ranch Mustangs. Had a chance to check out Otay Ranch last week. They're in this same Metro Mesa League as Chula Vista. That league is stacked. Probably the best league across San Diego County. You've also got Olympian. You've also got Eastlake. And then a pretty good, solid Bonita Vista team as well. So Chula Vista is going to have a tough schedule down the road. But they're back on defense. Lomax throwing it out to Xavier Smith, who's going to pick up the first down. Another quick hitch, and then he gets some yards after that catch. And the clock will stop for the moment after the first down pickup. seemingly any time the Marauders come off timeout, they come out with a play that is successful. Now the clock running, 3:10. Bautista gets the fake handoff, or does not get the handoff, rather, and then a catch out to the far sideline, Tyler Reed, and he gets close to a first down over on that side to the 20. A yard short, maybe a long yard. So getting out of bounds, that stops the clock with exactly 3 minutes. The Marauders, preferably for their team and fans, would make this game a 2-score contest by getting into the end zone here rather than just settling for the field goal. Trips wide receivers to the right. Lomax fakes it, buying his time to the left. He'll throw it that way. Caught, and picking up the first down is Addison Morrow, who almost turned that into a touchdown. If it weren't for a low tackle by Wolfgram on that side, Morrow would have been trotting into the end zone. But at the very least, for the Marauders, it is a first down. Another stoppage in play. We've got a timeout by the defense. That's the first of the half by the Spartans. With 2:49 left in the half, it's the Marauders up 10-7. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives everywhere. Obviously, you're watching this game over the internet on our YouTube channel, perhaps. We also have mobile applications and the first of its kind TV network by Play On Sports coming in the near future, in the fall of 2012. So we're really excited about that. But for the time being, you can at least catch all the games on the internet on PlayOnSports.com or on our YouTube channel on one of our specific channels. 2:49 left in the first half. Mira Mesa with a first down from the 12-yard line. They can still get that first down without scoring a touchdown. Lomax leads his team back onto the field. 4 down linemen coming at Lomax. He gets it out on a screen, and then going out of bounds is Reed, the 6'2 senior wide receiver. He's gotten his hands on a couple balls tonight, and they got him on a quick screen. Stopping the time, just a 6-second play, but time really not a factor for the Marauders. In fact, they'd probably want to have more of that time run off the clock to not give the Spartan offense much of a chance here at the end of the second half. 2 backs. You've got Risdom and Bautista. Risdom will get it, marching up the middle, and he gets the first down, but not that touchdown. That scenario I mentioned just before gets just to about the 2-yard line. And it looks like he's going to be, well, my mistake. He's going to be just short of the first down, probably about a half-yard short. So they need to get it to about the 1.5 for a first down. A little bit hard to make out the markers on that field here at Chula Vista. Really nice looking field, just a little bit brown in a couple spots. So a third down and short. We'll call it inches. An I formation the first time from the Marauders tonight, and you've got a penalty flag before the snap. I think you might have some movement up front or maybe a delay of game. We'll see. Yeah, delay of game. The second of its kind for the Marauders. This one hurts a little bit. I will say it does give them a little bit more space to operate, but they did come out in that I formation on the previous setup, so they seemingly would have run it, but now I would imagine they'll go back to the spread formation that they run 95% of their plays out of. They will indeed. 2 wide receivers to both sides. 1:58 left in the half. Trey Lomax getting ready. He's going to throw it out. Caught up high. That will be a touchdown for Mira Mesa. Brandon True going up high on that far side, getting his feet in bounds. Second touchdown of the game for the Marauders. A 7-yard hookup. That gives them a 16-7 lead for the time being. Renteria on for the point after. The snap is down. This one a little bit more of a knuckleball, but it still goes through. 17-7. Impressive so far after about the first half of the first quarter. It's been all Marauders as they've scored 17 points unanswered. A 7-yard pass play from Trey Lomax to Brandon True. Things have gone downhill a little bit for the Spartans in this first half as they really came out with a bang in front of their home crowd, but just have not been able to get anything going on offense during the second quarter. They do have some time on the clock, 1:53, so they are plenty capable of putting up some more points in this first half. Holden and Gill back to return it for the Spartans. Renteria gets this one away. Another nice booming kick. It will be Gill taking it at the 1. Trying to find a lane. Gets to the outside. He's got a blocker in front of him. He'll keep going to the far sideline and then breaks inside, getting it all the way to the 33. A substantial gain there on the return by Gill, who had really only been averaging 16 yards per kick return. That one getting all the way out to the, we'll call it the 34. A gain of 33 on the return. The Spartans, they've got a $143 to work with here. Down 10. We'll see if they continue to go with Reed or try to put it through the air to move those chains. It's Estevez looking to throw it, but the ball is taken out of his hands, almost recovered by the Marauders, but then it's the Spartans who come up with it. Once again, it was Ryan Sagapolu, I believe, on the hit, and then he had it in his hands, but it slipped out. Nonetheless, a loss of 9 yards, loss of 8 yards, we'll call it. Bringing up a second down and 18. That takes up a good chunk of time off the clock as well. So you might just see the Spartans going with the run here and maybe going into halftime with a 10-point deficit. They just don't want to give any more points to those Marauders. Nope, it's going to be Estevez throwing it on a quick bubble screen. Nice coverage by the defense after Holden brings in that reception. And that's one thing we haven't talked about much is Ray Holden. That's his first reception. He's a guy for the Spartans offense that averages almost 23 yards a reception. They've been unable to get him going, especially on anything deep. He's their leading receiver with about 250 yards coming into the game. Looks like we've got a penalty on the field. It appears to be on the Spartans. A hold on them, but Mira Mesa will smartly decline that as the play resulted in just a gain to the 27. You've got a 3rd down and 17 upcoming, so just about a gain of a yard. Clock continuing to run, 37 seconds and rolling. The Spartans taking their time, clock now down to 30. And it looks like they're going to be satisfied with a 10-point deficit at half. They'll probably go with one more play here. A run to Reed, who has a little bit of room, but gets met down at about the original line of scrimmage of this drive, near the 33. And that's going to do it for the first half. Mira Mesa without any timeouts to stop the clock. And we see zeros on that scoreboard. 17 unanswered points from Mira Mesa, the visitors, as they go into halftime with a 17-7 lead over the home team, Chula Vista Spartans. We'll have more coming up shortly on our halftime show on PlayOnSports.com, so we encourage you to stay with us. We've got a great one here from Chula Vista in San Diego County on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Welcome back to our halftime report here on your home for high school sports, your destination, playonsports.com. My name's Andy Bishop, and we've got a 10-point ball game for the visiting Marauders. We had a tied ball game at one point in the first half when it was notched up at 7-7, but the Marauders scored 10 more, and you've got a 17-7 game now at halftime with a couple of minutes before we kick things off once again. It was the Spartans who looked pretty dominant on the first couple of drives on either side of the field, and they got off to a 7-0 lead with a 1-yard run to Javante Reed, who was quieted after a 62-yard run when he fumbled, and it was recovered by the Marauders, who then went on a 75-yard drive, topped off by a 33-yard run by their junior running back, Christian Batista. So that had things all tied up at 7-7 in the second quarter. And then the Marauders went up by a touchdown score with a 17-yard pass from quarterback Trey Lomax to wide receiver Brandon Trieu. So we had a 14-7 game at that point, and then the Marauders got the ball once again. That previous score that I mentioned was actually set up by a special teams punt block by the Marauders. And so they got that lead to 14-7. Then they came down with another drive and were stopped short of the end zone and settled for the three-pointer by kicker Miguel Renteria. So that's how we have ourselves at a 17-7 game. Things really slowed down for the Spartans after their first couple of drives. They really just could not get anything going either through the air or on the ground with Reed. So we'll see how they come out on this one. They will start the game with the ball as they kicked it off to the Marauders to start the game. They will start the half with the ball, that is. Games going on all across the country today. Several being broadcasted here from the San Diego section on PlayOn Sports. Several across the various sections in California as well. This is a really interesting matchup because you have teams that see each other every couple of years. Maybe they play once every year at the beginning of their non-league schedule. The Marauders have won the last three. And coming into the game, you probably had a Chula Vista team that looked a lot better on paper than they have in years past. I will say they haven't played the best competition in their three previous games. They won pretty handily in all their other matchups against Granite Hills. Then they went to Sweetwater and won by 4 touchdowns, and also went to Hilltop. But all those teams historically have not been all that great here in the San Diego County. So they now face a much better Mira Mesa team, who is themselves coming off a very big loss, a 7-touchdown loss, 48-0. And we've got the second half going. Gill receives it inside of the end zone, so there will be no return. Really nice boot by both these kickers tonight, by Renteria of the Marauders, and also by the kicker of the Spartans. Their kicker, of course, Carlos Aparicio, who has 8 touchbacks himself. Unfortunately, Aparicio has not had a chance to kick off as many times as Renteria, obviously because of what we see on the scoreboard. 12 minutes here in the third quarter. We're set to begin. Reed, the single back, behind quarterback Ricky Estevez, who will hand it to the right side for Javante Reed. A couple on that one. We've seen him with several runs going for just about 2 or 3 yards. He has broken a couple more for some longer runs, and then that 60-plus yarder was the long run of the night by either team, but it ended in an unfortunate way, as I've already mentioned several times tonight. They'll come out on a 2nd down and 7, we'll call it, from the 20. 2nd down and 6 from the 24. This time an I formation with Wolf Graham the fullback. And he's going to lead, although he goes to the left. Reed goes to the right. Another gain of a few up to the 27. So you're going to see them chipping away a couple yards each of those first plays. And now another third down for the Spartans, who were very unsuccessful on their last couple of third downs. Some of them being because they were faced with long yardages. This one just 3. 10:48 and counting in the first quarter. The Marauders packing the box with 8 in it, and the safety only 10 yards off the line. They'll go with Reed again, who has a hole. He's got the first down. A hard hit by the safety, but he still picked up the first down. Stephon McKnight, the freshman defensive back, coming up with a nice hit on Reed, but Reed got about 2 feet enough for the first down to the 31. You gotta like that hit, though, by the Marauder safety. Just a freshman who met the senior and gave him something to think about next time. Reed might want to try to put on a juke move instead of lowering the shoulder. We'll see if they do meet again. First down, a play action to Reed, this time going down the far sideline, broken up. He was going for, he was going for Richard Walker, the second leading receiver for the Spartans team. He had a little bit of contact over there. I was wondering if they were going to get Stone Wilson for the pass interference. He might have been face guarding him a little bit, but no, it's going to be a personal foul on the Marauders. You had a late hit on Estevez, and that will go for an extra 15. So a gift for the Spartans. Taking the ball up to the 46. That's the really the best play that the Spartans have had in a while in terms of yardage, and it comes from a penalty. The crowd getting behind them a little bit, a mostly quieted crowd in the second quarter there. Wolf Graham and Reed behind Estevez. They'll pitch it to the right. Reed stops on a dime, switches directions to the left field, breaks a tackle. He's got the first down. He's now weaving inside into Marauder territory to the 27. You gotta like the moves by Reed, because the average running back would have had about a 5-yard gain on that. Reed turns it in to a boomer. He turned that one into a 27-yard gain. 27 yards on that play for Reed, who switched directions of the field 2 times. And that's why he is one of the leading rushers in the San Diego County. I believe he was 4th coming into the game. First down and 10, 9-10 on the clock. A fake by Estevez gets it out in the flat to Wolfgram, but too high. That's going to go incomplete. We've got a flag from the back official. You might have a passer interference on the secondary. It looked like Ray Holden was stating his case that he may have gotten held or interrupted with during his route. Yeah, they'll call the hold. It looked like Holden was matched up over there on the far side with Deshaun Pataskill. And they'll get Pataskill for the hold. The ball moves from the 27 to the 17, a 10-yard penalty. Another first down by penalty for the Spartans. I formation. Holden coming in motion towards the middle. Another pitch to Reed, who's met behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to go for a loss. Similar play to the one that he previously broke on this drive, but a nice play by the defense of the Marauders there. It looked like Angel Sanchez was one of the first Mira Mesa defenders to get in there. A loss of 3 back to the 20. 8:35 left in the third. This is sort of how the first half started as well. Time swiftly going off the clock, but then that last 8 minutes or so of the second half took quite a while. Second down, 13. Holden in motion again, a play action. He's going to come back to Reed, who's got space, to the 10, the 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Spartans. A brilliant play call. You got to like it. As they faked it to Reed, the attention went elsewhere, and they came back to Reed. That makes it 17-13 with 8:10 left in the third quarter. Carlos Aparicio on to kick it and make it a 3-point game. The snap is low but held nicely. Good job by Kevin Ayers, and Aparicio puts it through. We've got a close ball game within a field goal. You're listening to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. And not only is PlayOn Sports your destination for Friday night football, it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events. We're looking forward to that later this fall. It's going to happen in all the sports across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here. Andy Bishop coming to you live from Chula Vista High School in South County, San Diego. Heather Resnick, our producer. Aaron Hunt, our videographer. I'm flying solo tonight. Normally have a partner here in the booth, but we're going at it alone. No worries on my part. I'm enjoying a very exciting ball game. Division I here, the highest level in San Diego. Two Division I opponents, Mira Mesa, who's going to get this return going along the far sideline. Nice containment by the Spartans. That was Addison Morrow on the return. Didn't even quite get it to the 20. So once again, you've got a slight shift in momentum. The Spartans getting back in this one, going on a very impressive drive to start off the the second half here. An 80-yard drive culminating in a pass of 20 yards from Estevez to Javante Reed into the end zone for his second time tonight. And the Marauders come out back on offense. 8:03 in the first half. Lomax at cornerback, sending Reed in motion. And he'll settle near the middle of the field. They'll hand it off to Batista, I would assume. I didn't catch the number, but based on the size of that small back, yes, it was Batista who gets a nice gain on first down to the 25, bringing up a second down and 3. And we've seen a pretty consistent offensive attack from the Marauders tonight, obviously being stopped on a couple of them, but they've moved the ball consistently, you could say. Another handoff, this time to Risdom, who's going to be near the first down marker on another draw. Pretty much the only play you can run out of this offense, but there's definitely some variations you can do with it. Like I was saying before, you've got those option reads with the quarterback. Sometimes he'll keep it, but for the most part, he's been letting his talented backs do the work. First down, the officials signal up to the 28-yard line. 7 minutes now left in the third quarter. Reed in motion. And he will lead block for Risdom again. Risdom is the senior running back who is not going to get as many carries. A little bit more elusive back, Batista, is the one that gets the bulk of them, but still they both get a lot of the workload. in the ground game, and then Lomax is also going to be a big part of that. Really a nice performance by Lomax tonight, commanding that offense very smoothly. He's going to give the handoff again to Rizdom, who gets blasted, but he's able to stay on his feet and moves forward for another yard and got close to the first down. He got absolutely bolted, but you can tell the core strength of that young man as he was able to stay on his feet after taking a good blow. Ball up to the 37, we'll call it. They need to get to the 38 for a first down. 1 yard shy on a 3rd down and 1. They'll go up the middle to Rizdom. He's got it up to the 40, so that's going to be enough. Rizdom getting a little bit more of the work here in the second quarter as opposed to Batista. And that is working effectively so far. Clock was stopped for a moment there on the first down. Now running again. 5:33 left in the third quarter. 17-14 game. Mira Mesa up with the ball. Lomax signaling, faking, throwing it to the far side. Got a receiver in stride, catches it at the 30, and then he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Marauders. Deuce Bingham. The deuce was loose on that one, and that was one of the more beautiful plays I've seen at the high school level. A strike of 60 yards by the quarterback, Trey Lomax. He really couldn't have thrown it in there better. Pretty nice coverage on the outside, but he just laid it in there perfectly. And then Bingham brought it in and then just outsped the DB over there. And you got to like that if you are a fan of the passing game. Renteria on for the extra point. That one definitely quieted the crowd. That extra point is good. 24-14, and again, Mira Mesa has that 10-point lead that they started the second half with. You're listening to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to Chula Vista High School. I'm Andy Bishop here on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. What a game we've got going on here in Chula Vista. The Marauders coming down from Mira Mesa just completed an awesome pass. I just got to say it. 60 yards from their quarterback Trey Lomax to another senior, Deuce Bingham. As we get going with another kickoff from Renteria, puts it back into the end zone for about the 4th time tonight. That young kid has got a boot. But getting back to the touchdown play, it was a quick fake handoff by Lomax out of that shotgun formation, and then he just went long down the far sideline to Deuce Bingham, who's got maybe the fastest set of wheels in the house tonight. As you saw him going pretty fast as he caught that ball in stride. But then once he caught it at about the 30, he just turned on the burners into the 5th gear. And there was no chance of him being tackled before the end zone. So we've got a 10-point ball game with 5:13. Spartans back on the attack, and they'll go with their workhorse, Javante Reed, who jukes inside. He's to the 40, to midfield, now to the Marauder 40. Putting on a move, and he's just going to go out of bounds inside the 35 to the 34. Javante Reed, the shifty big guy. We've got each team matching each other big play for big play. as the defenses may be wearing down a little bit. Reed comes limping off the field a little bit, or maybe he's just jogging slowly after running a big amount there. Let's see, that's going to be a 56-yard gain on first down for Reed, so he's tired after running about a 150-foot sprint. We've got whistles before the play. You have early movement on the line there from Chula Vista. That'll go for 5 yards back to the 29. My mistake. I was mentioning before that Reed got inside of the 35. It was actually inside of the 25 all the way to the 24 for that 56-yard gain. So my small mistake on that initial call. But this time they're ready to go again with Javon Reed this time, and he breaks a tackle to the 20, down to the 15, and inside to the 13. The smaller Reed, maybe the quicker Reed, gets the chains moving as well. What a set of genes both those brothers have. 4:45 left in the third quarter. The Spartans driving at the 13. This time an inside give to Wolfgram, who's plunging forward. A nice gain again for the Spartans, down to the 5, just a couple yards short of the first down. 8-yard gain for Hui Wolfgram. It is non-stop action here in the South County of San Diego. And the team's moving quickly. Here the Spartans offense going quickly. Another handoff to Wolfgram, this time to the left side behind left guard, and that should be good enough for a first down to the 2-yard line. The Spartans really going quickly with this offense, trying to fatigue the defense of the Marauders, and it seems to be working. Now with 4 minutes on the clock, Javon Reed still in the game, and they'll go with him on the right side. He marches into the end zone. Touchdown, Chula Vista. And you hear the crowd down in front of me still alive and well in this game like their team down on the field. A 2-yard plunge by Javon Reed, number 22. That gives him his 4th touchdown of the season. It just might be one of those games where the last team with the ball ends up winning. Aparicio on for the point after try. It is good. And once again, here in the third quarter, we've got a 3-point margin, 24-21. Marauders still with the advantage. We want to remind you, fans out there, that PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action you see every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Couple of hashtags you can use are hashtag PlayOn, as well as hashtag Friday Night Football, as well as any other creative hashtags you can think of to join the conversation about high school athletics, particularly football on these Friday nights. 24-21. Chula Vista down after scoring 7. Another touchback as Aparicio kicked it to Morrow. We've seen nothing but touchbacks. You see the strong legs from these Division I kickers here in San Diego. We've had 3 touchdown scores here in the third quarter, and we've still got 3:51 left, so you could very well see another one. 2 by Chula Vista, 1 on the ground, most recently by Javon Reed, and then you also had one earlier to Javonte Reed, who did not see any of the last 5 plays or so on that previous Spartans drive, so you got to wonder if he's okay health-wise. Then the other touchdown of the quarter was that beautiful 60-yard strike from Lomax to Bingham. Lomax taking it here on this first down, giving it on the right side to Bingham. Trying to get to the outside, but not much room to run. A beautiful day here across America's finest city in San Diego. We're here in the South County in Chula Vista, and an absolutely awesome night. It feels great here, probably around 70 degrees, maybe high 60s, as we march toward the fourth quarter here. We're still in the third quarter. Lomax taking it on the option read. And he scoots to the right side of their offense, a couple yards from the first down. Of course, we also want to remind you, if you're listening in tonight, to stay tuned for our PlayOnSports.com postgame show. We'll select our player of the game. We'll have an interview with him, and then we'll wrap up all the action from tonight's game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. 2:30 left in the third. Third down, a big one, just 2 yards. They'll give it to Bautista up to the 30, and this one's going to be really close. I think he should have it since the ball started on the 20. He got it to the 30, and we see a first down. And my mistake, that was not Bautista, that was Bingham, or excuse me, Bingham was the young gentleman who had the touchdown. That was Risdom, who's gotten a bulk of the work here in the second half. I wonder if Bautista is down with an injury, because we've really only seen Risdom getting those carries from Lomax. Reed coming in motion to the near side. They'll give it again to Risdom, as they've pretty consistently gone with him, and you see why. Just really churning those legs and pushing for the extra yard, lowering his shoulder to turn gains of what should be 2 or 3 yards into a gain of 7 or 8, like you saw in that play. Ball up to the 39, so we'll call it a gain of 8. Needing to get to the 41 for a first. Chula Vista bringing everybody up into the box. Again, they'll go with Risdom, who gets a very nice gain once again. And you can see how some of those defenders out there are tiring themselves out through tonight's ball game. You can see how their legs feel a little bit heavy right now. Another first down pickup for Risdom, a really tough running back out there who almost looks the size of a fullback, but he's playing tailback, especially with Bautista out right now. Just over a minute on the clock. A penalty. Flag has been thrown, whistle's blown. And it looks like you've got an illegal substitution on the Mira Mesa offense. I didn't quite catch who it was or when exactly it happened, but that should be the case. Ball back to the 42, so you're going to have a 1st and 15. Clock continuing to run now under a minute in the third quarter. Almost see a bit of fog or some haze rolling through the field here now. Chula Vista with 5 defensive backs, a fumble, and we'll see if Mira Mesa was able to recover it. They were. It was Bingham who previously caught the touchdown, saving the day for Mira Mesa, but they still lose yards on that play. Ball going all the way back to the 34, a loss of 8 yards on that play. So you had a penalty before the first down play, and now you've got another loss of yardage on the actual first down play. So you're going to be faced with a second down and long. We'll probably call it 23 yards. But before that second down play comes about, we are going to have some more zeros on the scoreboard. That's going to do it for the third quarter. Be sure and stay tuned here to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. We are sure to have a great finish here from Chula Vista High School. Stay tuned.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Second down and 23 for Mira Mesa. Reed going in motion. Lomax is going to hand it off to Bingham this time, who's down the far sideline and gets absolutely nailed. Hopefully you can see some of this action as you've got the Hayes coming in here late in tonight's game in the fourth quarter. But Bingham, once again, you see the quickness getting around the edge, but he got blasted near the original line of scrimmage that the Marauders had on this first down. They're at the 41 now. Third down and 11. You have to ask why they try not to get the ball in Bingham's hands a little bit more if you're the Marauders. Probably the fastest player here. Lomax fakes it, gets it out to Reed, who's to midfield, the 45. He trudges forward, but he's going to be short by about 3 yards. Interesting call here for Mira Mesa. They've got the ball to Spartan territory now at about the 46, and they need to get to the 43 for a first down. It looks like they're going to go for it for the time being, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up calling a timeout here, as it's been taking a little bit of time for Lomax to get that play call from the sideline. But they're going to hustle up to the ball. 11-14 left in the game. Of course, Mira Mesa still up 24-21. Lomax does get the snap off. He's going to throw a crossing route, and it's incomplete. It was behind the intended receiver, Addison Morrow. So a big stop by Chula Vista's defense. Just a minute through the fourth quarter here, and they are well positioned to either tie this ball game or take the lead with the ball at their own 46, close to midfield. A really evenly matched game here tonight, and we've seen nothing but fireworks in the second half here. Javante Reed is back in the game after playing that last series on defense. He's going to get the handoff. He's got room past midfield for a 7-yard gain maybe to the 48. We'll call it a 6-yard gain. But a nice job up front by that Spartan line as they went with a counter to the right side, a pulling guard, and you had a nice hole for Javante Reed. 10:35 left in the game. Holden coming in motion to the near side. Once again, they'll go to Reed, who actually pushed his own teammate over, trying to find some room. Gets up to the 45, so they'll be just short 1 yard of that first down. Javante Reed supplying the offense for the most part in this second half for the Spartans. They're going to go with a quarterback sneak on third down. Estevez keeps it, and I'm not sure that he got it. He might be a foot short from my vantage point here. That would be my guess. But nope, they're going to go ahead and give it to him. They got it to the 44, which was the required mark right at that 44-yard line. So my initial guess was incorrect. First down. Estevez will give it left side to Reed, who makes a nice cut back inside, holding on to the ball carefully, being sure not to give up a costly turnover here late in the game. Quick gain of 4. And you've seen nothing flashy about the runs by Reed, just some good, hard downhill running, and that's moved the chains at least once on this drive so far. A second down and 6 upcoming. The younger Reed now into the game, Javon, in an I formation. He's going to flank out in motion and be the slot on that right side. They'll give it to Wolfgram. A play we've seen several times tonight as they motion out that back, leaving Wolfgram as the only back about 2 yards behind Estevez, and he gets that one for very solid yardage of 5 yards. The ball is at, we'll call that gain of 4 yards actually, ball at the 36, so they need a short 2 yards to get that first down. Javon Reed still in the game. You've got 2 wide receivers to the near side. It's Brandon Gill and Ray Holden. That is Walker all the way near the sideline. They're going to go give it to Reed, and he's got the first down. Again, nothing too fancy about this offensive drive so far, but the Spartans line is doing its job up front and allowing their backs to get good gains of 4 to 5 yards. Ball now to the 31. Wolfgram still in there at the fullback position. It's Javon Reed dotting that I. They will fake it to Reed and give it inside to Wolfgram on a dive. And again, he'll just go forward for a couple of yards. Clock continuing to be chewed up. 7:50. The Spartans are really shortening this game by keeping the ball on the ground and letting that clock run out. Very close game here. They trail 24-21, but they're inside the 30 of the Marauders. A fake by Estevez. He's going to go to the receiver on the near side. That's Richard Walker. We haven't seen him targeted many times tonight, but he was wide open down the near sideline on a fade of 21 yards. Now it should be first and goal from the 10. Yeah, we don't see a first down marker set up, so it's going to be first and goal for the Spartans. 7:26 on the clock. Javonte Reed back in the game as the single back. Ray Holden in motion. They will give it to Javonte Reed, scooting forward all the way down to the 1 yard line. Almost broke that plane, but he was kind of falling to his knees. And you can see the fatigue on that young man's body, on his legs, as he has had quite a load on him so far. The ball will be actually at about the 1.5 yard line, but we'll still call it second down and goal from 1 yard. Javonte Reed still in there. They'll bring in an extra fullback, Samisi Iongi, to possibly lead for Reed. They will go with him again, right side. He is going to be stuffed just short from the official's mark on both sides. He's about a foot short. You got to think that they'll just keep on going with Reed as they're getting yardage with him as the back. Third down and goal. From the 1, they're actually going to put Javon Reed in. 2 backs to block. They're going to go with Wolfgram. He is in, and the Spartans have the lead. The fullback dive. 27-24 Spartans. A 1-yard run by Wolfgram. Now this is a very crucial extra point as they only have a 3-point lead. You'd like for Aparicio to push it to 4. He's solid on that one. And that gives the Spartans a 28-24 lead. 2 touchdowns unanswered. What a game. You're listening to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
An 80-yard scoring drive for the Spartans gives them the lead, 28-24. Andy Bishop here with you on PlayOnSports.com. Carlos Aparicio kicking it off, taken in the end zone by Bingham for the Marauders, so he won't be able to advance that. We've seen so many drives start on the 20. That last one did for the Spartans as they went 80 yards, really doing a lot on the ground on the heels of Javante Reed. And then it was a really key 21-yard hookup from Estevez to Richard Walker that set up the Spartans at the 10, and then they just punched it in from there. Wolfgram, the one that got into the end zone. This has really been an exciting second half. Glad I have the chance to bring it to you live here on PlayOnSports.com. The Marauders looking to respond. Trey Lomax at quarterback with a lot of time still on the clock. They'll go with Rizdom, who they've ridden all second half. He's been the back after after Christian Batista has gone out of the game, I would imagine from some sort of injury, but I do not know the exact cause. Nonetheless, Rizdom has really provided a spark for this running game of the Marauders, but they went 3 and out last drive, and that allowed the Spartans to go on a drive. You are going to have a pass out to one of the receivers, Xavier Smith, for a first down. I apologize, that was not an 80-yard drive that the Spartans went on. I had forgotten that they started with that at their own 46 because of the turnover on down. So still an impressive drive, but just 54 yards on that drive and not the 80 yards. 5:28 and counting. A nice pickup on first down there from Xavier Smith by the quarterback. Throwing it out there, Trey Lomax. Very solid all-around game from him. He's going to fake it to Bingham and then keep it himself. He's got room to the outside, a nice stiff arm, but he's going to have enough for the first down. And you might have some yardage tacked onto that play. Maybe a face mask. That's what it looked like from all the way up here in the broadcast booth, but that was all the way on the far side, so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, you've got a personal foul face mask on the defense. Another crushing blow for the Spartans defense. We've seen both teams plagued to some degree by the penalty bug. But, yeah, can least afford it at this point in the game, when each play is magnified in so close a ball game. That was an 11-yard run by Lomax, but the penalty advanced it past midfield, so a total play of 26 yards, if you will. Ball to the 41 of the Spartans. 5:08 on the clock, 28-24, Chula Vista. Lomax faking it and then throwing it out on a screen. A nice catch on a low pass. Addison Morrow with the reception. Very good hands, as it wasn't Lomax's most accurate pass of the night, but he at least got it out there quickly, and Morrow had some time to catch, adjust, and run. Ball to the 33, so a gain of 8. Once again, 4 wide receivers for Lomax. 4:34. He is going to give it to Risdom through the middle of the defense. He should have the first down past the 30-yard line. Very interesting to see how things will transpire as this ball game comes to a conclusion. A little over 4 minutes to go at 4:20 and rolling. Ball on the 29 for Mira Mesa, who is down 4 points. So they have got to score a touchdown to take the lead. Once again, going up the middle is the back. I believe it was Risdom who's gotten all but one of the carries in this half, as Bautista took the first carry of the half, but since then it's been the senior, Jordan Risdom. If you're Mira Mesa, ideally you'd like to take up at least another 2 minutes off the clock and then score that touchdown and leave the Spartans with not a whole lot of time on offense, but who knows, they might have to settle for a field goal. We'll see. Lomax throwing it, and he's taken down, sacked back at the 33. A huge play. You gotta like that effort by Brandon Solis. They'll actually mark the ball at the 32. My mistake, it was Jalon Candler, probably the best defender on this Spartans team, who came up with the sack. I thought I saw 38 on the number. It was actually 28. The sophomore, Jalon Candler, leading tackler for this Spartans team, and comes up with a huge sack. Oh, boy. You've got a loss of 11 on that sack. So now you're probably in 4-down territory if you're the Marauders. You could settle for the field goal if you don't pick up the first down here. But then again, it's not going to be the highest percentage kick. If you're short of the first down, you're looking at least a 35, probably at least a 38-yard field goal, and potentially even longer. That's if you're only 1 yard away from the first down. So a lot of strategy will come into play here, and we'll see how Coach Gary Blevins handles things in his 18th year of coaching over there in Mira Mesa. Coaches have had these two teams prepared quite well for tonight's game. A few mistakes, like I mentioned before, on both teams, but for the most part, a clean game. Judd Raychow, the coach on the Spartan sideline, now coming off the field. 2:53, third down, 13 from the 32. Lomax is going to keep it, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Now what do you do here? I think you got to go for it because you're at the 33. It'd be a 50-yard field goal attempt, and the chances of that going through at the high school level are pretty low, even though you do have a kicker with a boot that could get it there in Renteria. But you got to think Mira Mesa is going to go for it here on about a 4th down and 14. What a game. We want to remind you to stay tuned for our post-game show here on PlayOnSports.com. We'll select our player of the game, so many to choose from tonight. We'll try to interview them, and then we'll wrap up tonight's action. That's all coming up after the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Looks like we've got an injured Marauder laying on his back on the field at about the 34. Couldn't make out who it was, but you always hate to see these situations. There we go. He's up. Happy to see that. That was Richard Belmontes on the ground, the offensive lineman, just a sophomore. And he's up, walking on his own 2 feet. That's always a good sign. But Now, if you're a Marauder fan, you're worried about this fourth down play. If you're unable to pick up this first down, you still got a chance because you've got 2 timeouts left, and your defense will be able to stop it a couple of times. But the clock is now running at 2:25. Fourth down, 14 from the 33. Lomax at quarterback. He's got trips to the left. He is going to take a 3-step drop, step up, throw it. It is caught for a first down, a huge pickup. I think he got Tyler Reed in the middle of contact. Reed hangs on. Yeah, I'm not 100% that was Tyler Reed. We've got more of that haze moving in, and I couldn't quite pick up a number on that side. I believe it was Reed, but it could have been Xavier Smith or it could have been Addison Morrow. I apologize for not getting that straight, but doing my best up here. 150. Lomax handing it off to Risdom. Going forward for just a couple yards. Well, this is the ideal situation if you're the Marauders, if obviously you're able to get it into the end zone. Because you picked up that first down, you're under 2 minutes, and then you've still got 3 more plays to work with to get a first down, which is at about the 5 or 6 yard line, I believe. The ball at the 15-yard line. 1:10 and counting. In motion is Reed. They'll get it out to a receiver on a bubble screen. That one was Addison Morrow, but handled nicely by the DB out there. And you've got a timeout. A timeout called by Mira Mesa. So it's all or nothing for Mira Mesa now. You have got to get into that end zone with only 1 minute, 1 second left on the clock. Andy Bishop coming to you live from Chula Vista High School here on PlayOnSports.com. We have got a tight one. It'll be a 3rd down and 7, we'll call it. Ball at the 13. So we'll call it the 6-yard line where the Marauders need to get to for the first down. They call another timeout. This has been a frantic ball game so far here in the second half, as well as earlier in the game, but we're sure to have a fantastic finish. The home team crowd hoping, praying that its team on defense comes away with a stop, but you've got a 3rd down. Lomax trying to do things differently. He's going to get the ball. He's going to fake it. Throws a low duck. Incomplete to his receiver out there on the far side, Addison Morrow. And that ball just did not look good coming off the hand of Lomax. 4th down. This is what it all comes down to. 57 seconds left on the game. I hope you can hear me amongst this Chula Vista crowd right below me. They are really into this thing. Several hundred strong. 4th down and 7. Lomax at quarterback sending Reed in motion, stopping there. He's going to have to throw over the middle, too high, incomplete. A stop for the Chula Vista defense, and that should be the game. Whoa, daddy. 52 seconds left on the clock. It will be Chula Vista ball. All they have to do is run a couple of the kneel down plays in the victory formation. Mira Mesa only has 1 timeout left, if I'm not mistaken. So you should see Chula Vista go to a perfect 4-0. They run one play with just under 50 seconds left. And they'll just have to do it one more time. And it'll be victory number 4 for the Spartans. A valiant effort by the Mira Mesa Marauders, who came in and really had control of this game until the fourth quarter. And then the Spartans came up with a couple of big plays, some nice defensive stops as well. And there you have it, the last play of the game. Still 10 seconds left on the clock, but the team's coming out, and that will do it. Sheer celebration and jubilation here from Chula Vista High School. It's a final, 28-24 Spartans. Be sure and stay tuned for our postgame show. We'll go down there and get one of those Spartans that's very deserving of being our player of the game. So stay tuned to your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com. Again, a final of 28-24 from Chula Vista, the Spartans over Mira Mesa.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream.
Camera 3.
Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Got us? All right. I'm going to switch this around. Testing. All righty. We good? Okay, just give me a little countdown when we record. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun with this. Welcome back to our post-game show here on PlayOnSports.com. I'm Andy Bishop. I have the pleasure of being joined by our player of the game, Ricky Estevez, quarterback for the Chula Vista Spartans. He leads his team to a 28-24 victory here at his home high school. Very exciting game. Just tell me how, first off, you're feeling right now, Ricky.
Feeling great. Just enjoy it tonight, and then tomorrow, focus on to next week. Yeah,
it really came down to the wire there. You're on the sideline watching your defense. How confident did you feel in your defense when that fourth down came about and you knew they needed to come up with a stop?
I was very confident. I have all faith in my teammates and the defense, too, as well. I knew we were going to get the stop. I knew it in the bottom of my heart.
Now, let's switch sides of the field to the offense where you're a little bit more familiar. You really led this offense tonight. What was the week of practice like for you guys on the offensive side of the ball, and what were you feeling going into the week?
On the offensive side, we want to do a lot of tempo. We noticed on film that when they go against speed, they get really tired fast. So this week we really wanted to go tempo, really fast tempo.
So this win gives you 4 victories. You're 4-0 now.
Yes.
When you started the season, coming off a season last year where you were around 500, was this something you expected?
Yes. We were returning a lot of key players, 2 receivers, a running back. O-line's looking great, so I knew we were going to be this good.
You had 1 touchdown pass tonight, but there were also 3 runs that got into the end zone by 3 different running backs. How does it feel? What's it like to just hand off the ball to some of those talented backs you got there?
It feels great just knowing you have talent around you. It makes my job easier that much.
All right, now going forward, one more last question. You guys go to Brawley next week. What are some of the goals you have for the rest of the season? I know you're going to have some tough league competition here in the Metro Mesa.
Personal goals?
Yeah, personal and team.
Personal goals, I would want to break Victor Perez's career record for close passing. And then team, we just want to win the Mesa League champs and CIF champs.
All right, well, good luck with the rest of the season, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Nice interview. That's Ricky Estevez, quarterback here, leader of the Spartans from Chula Vista. They now go 4-0, undefeated still on the season. Thanks for joining us on the interview here, and we'll see you the rest of the way throughout the season. That's going to do it for our interview. Join us or stay with us for the rest of our post-game show here on PlayOnSports.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.